Have you ever wondered how Han Solo became such a badass? Or where he learned Sharuk, the language that the Wookiees speak? Or how he became such an excellent pilot? Or why he owes Jabba money? And how he even got hooked up with Chewbacca? Well, in today's review of Paradise Snare, the first of the Han Solo Trilogy, we're going to answer these questions.
We would be honored if you would join us.
I don't have it with me. Tell Jabba.
It is a very light novel. It's 306 pages. It is written by A.C. Crispin, published in 1997. So it's been 20 years. It's still a good novel, really fast read. We're just going to get into some of the questions and just do a real quick plot summary. Here we go. All right, so this book starts off when Han Solo is 5 years old. And he's not even Han Solo. His name is Vic Draco. He spent the first 19 years of his life on a ship called the Trader's Luck. And the pilot's name, or the guy that's in charge, his name is Shrike. And he's just a jerk. He picks up kids and he uses them to steal and be pickpockets. Yeah, that's it. He makes his money off child slave labor. Horrible guy. Those 19 years on the Trader's Luck, he befriends a Wookiee named Dwella, and he learns Triwook. There you go. That's how he learns it. She is a cook. She's a good person. You don't know that much about her. And Han Solo decides that he wants to leave the Trader's Luck. He is confronted by Shrike. Dwella intervenes. She dies. She says, "Go live a good life. Make my death not in vain." Boom. He jumps on this freighter, and the freighter goes to Yelsa, where apparently he has heard about an advertised piloting job. I guess there's like a Monster.com or a Craigslist in Star Wars somewhere. On the hotline, maybe. So boom, he goes off to this planet Yelsa, and now he's 19 years old. That's it. That's all we really get about his formative years. And then the next 5 months is the entire duration of the novel. So we don't know really his name. He doesn't know his name. And he picks up who he thinks his parents are, but we never really get 100% confirmation. So we definitely have this always unknown factor about Han Solo. We know why he's rough, because that's how he grew up. He had to fight, beg, steal for everything. So that's who he is. That's, you know. So he gets to Yelsa. He lands his freighter, which is very hard because atmospheric conditions, and he meets these people called the Talandan Till. The entire planet is a monastery where the Talandan Till take their pilgrims, and they have them work in spice factories. And for those of you that don't know, spice is like the cocaine of the Star Wars universe. So every day after working in the factories, the pilgrims come out and they have this congregation, and the Talandan Till priests do this thing called the exaltation. And what the exaltation is the male Talandan Till have this like gland or this sac here, and they basically send out good juju feelings to all the pilgrims, which is basically like a giant orgasm for hundreds of people. The Talandan Till use this to attract female mates. So it makes everybody feel good, and they call this god the One and All, I believe it's called. Yeah, the One, the All. So, yeah. He is a pilot for the Talandan Till, and he's just basically going and delivering spice/drugs everywhere. So that's his first real job, drug runner. Has some minor adventures, and he quickly gets a bodyguard. Doesn't really matter, minor character. The bodyguard kind of explains things. He's the guide to this world, and he explores the factory where all these people are dealing with the spice, cutting it, all this, and he meets this woman named Bria Theron. Bria Theron, in my opinion, is the most important person of the entire trilogy. She is so important. She is an amazing character. She drives Han Solo to become who he's going to become. She is the person that he wants to be good enough for. She's like the pre-Leia. She's very pre-Leia. So basically, he meets her, falls in love. She's Carillion. He's Carillion, so that's good. And he decides that he wants to get her out of the factory, the drug factory. So kind of like that movie put it. His plan is he needs to get out of the factory, get her kind of better condition. He finds out that she is been trained to be like a librarian in archaeology, and the head to London, she has this collection of treasures. She doesn't like deal in like hard currency and credits. She likes treasure, so she can trade those off, and they're not as traceable as like money for all this drug she has. So she has this huge treasure room, but it's kind of just jumbled. So Han Solo here is named Drake. Says, well, I know a girl that can do all this, and she says, okay, cool, and then she starts to catalog this entire treasure room, which then later is for her to be able to steal the best treasures. Hala. So that's what she does. Drago, Bria, and his sidekick, Murgo, which is the bodyguard, all decide they're going to leave, and that's what they do. This is the big action of the book. They basically blow up a few factories on the planet, this Colony 1 where they are, and he gets Bria out, he gets Murgo, they get some treasure, boom, they dipset, they're out. Again, like very kind of like, he's 19, so he's doing the things that he's going to do for the rest of his life. He then goes to this planet where he drops off Murgo, and Murgo has a girl, and they get married. Again, just like side characters come up later, but not a really big deal. The false conclusion of the book. So they've already sold the goods, the treasures from the Talanda Till treasure chamber, and have them in bank. So they go to the planet Torrego and tries to get the money. Boom, he can't. He almost gets arrested. He's got to run, jump, do the Han Solo kind of stuff. And he goes back to the hotel room where Bria Theron is hanging out and says, yo, baby, we don't got no money. And she basically says, no money, no honey. And she kind of leaves him. But she leaves him for a few reasons. One, like Han Solo, he's now decided on that name. She knows he's not done becoming like a man. Of course, he's 19. And she's really addicted still mentally to this exaltation done by the Talanda Till. And she wants to go back. So she's fighting this drug addiction. So she's like, you need to straighten your life out. I need to straighten my life out. Maybe we'll meet later. She doesn't say all this. She leaves it in Dear John, which is kind of new. I don't think I've really recognized that in a Star Wars book before. Wakes up, finds the note, no woman. And this really spurs him to go and do what he's always wanted to do, which was be an Imperial pilot. He has to change his retina because he's been identified as a smuggler and all these things before, so he changes his retina. Then he finally takes on the real name of Han Solo and like the Star Wars credit card service, Social Security. I don't know. That becomes his real name, his identifiable name. So he joins the Navy, the Imperial Navy, and it's really hard, but he does really well because he's awesome and he wants to do it, and he's like doing it for her. He still thinks that he's going to be with her, and so he's doing it for his girl, and this is a part of the story that I think everybody can really get on board with, that you're wanting to become a better person for yourself, but also for like another person. I knew growing up and being in the Navy, a lot of guys did that, joined the Navy, so they could have a better life for their wife or their children. So a lot of that resonated, I think, with me, and also almost anyone that's going to read this book, why he makes that really hardcore decision. He does not really know what the Empire is or how bad or evil they are, of course not. And he's always been dreaming this since he's been like an urchin child. So it's the fruition of a dream. So upon graduation, boom, boom, of course, things are not tied up. His old master, Shrike, the captain of Trader's Luck, comes at him, trying to hunt him down, and they fight, and he's killed. So it's kind of like the end of his childhood story. Again, it's like 19 years and 5 months. That's, basically the length and breadth of this book. So it's really good. It doesn't answer all the questions in which I brought up at the beginning of the video, but the next two books will. It answers how he becomes a really good pilot. He learned from his time with Talon Till, and he also became an Imperial pilot. So he's been trained kind of like on-the-job training, and also the proper way, so to speak, about how to be a really good pilot. He's learned how to become a smuggler. He's learned to sometimes cut and run, working with Talon Till, and he's learned about different places and different kinds of people. So this book is for anyone that likes Star Wars. Any young person or person that's like Star Wars that wants a light read. This is not terribly complicated. There is a lot of the weird spelling words like Corellia and Brenda Theron, and people's names are odd. That's just sci-fi stuff. So yeah, this book is for the light casual reader. Sure, if you're the hardcore sci-fi person, you probably already read this. This book is super fast because it does a really good job of just jumping over the stuff that doesn't simply matter. It does a really good job of just moving the plot forward. The love story is pretty moved. There's not a lot of those cringe moments. There's not a lot of those like sway moments. Oh, it's just like they like each other. Finished. Not a big. I mean, this is a really good book because it talks about some of these social matters which sci-fi does so very well, contrasting them to today's modern slavery as well. That is very blatant in this book, and it's contrasted so well. I think Han Solo is a person that a lot of people have interest in, and a lot of people don't know his background story. I did. So this is for them. What I didn't like about this book is there's not enough detail. For a 306-page novel that covers 19 years of his life, there's not going to be a lot of finite detail. There's not going to be a lot of really interesting, nuanced bits about the character. Because you already know who he is, because you already know who he becomes, I think that A.C. Crispin just says, hey, you know where we're going to go, so let's just get there. Let's just move the story forward. So, an amazing little introduction to the Han Solo Trilogy. This was also the least one that I liked, but it's really just the introduction, and the other two I like more because we ramp up the action. Again, I think all three of these books are really written as one giant piece, just kind of broken up. Now they are sold as just one book. All right, that is Stubob Reviews, Paradise Snare by A.C. Crispin.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Even I get bored at sometimes. Do you think I had a choice?